Hi, I'm Shauna J. Cerniak, founder of Every Woman Empowered, and alongside are my co-hosts,
Johnny Gallardo, international artist, and Every Woman Empowered resident artist.
And Emilie Iggiotti, certified laughter yoga instructor, founder of Let's Laugh Yig, and happiness ambassador for Every Woman Empowered.
Welcome to
Chit Chat!
And our special guest today is portrait photographer Emilie Iggiotti.
Yeah.
That's my little Italian for today. Welcome to the show. We're so excited to have you. And I know you have traveled all over the world. You have seen so many countries. You have visited so many places. And here you are in Edmonton, gracing us right here in our own city and doing some phenomenal portrait work with your photography. And I'm excited to hear from the ladies the questions that you have, and we'll get started right into it. So who's going to go first?
Me. So, Emilie, you went from being a lawyer to this empowerment portrait photographer. Can you share that journey to finding your true calling and how you hope to inspire others to do the same?
Yeah, so I went to law school for 5 years. I wanted to be a corporate lawyer. I wanted to work with companies and artists, and I wanted to help them managing their contracts. And unfortunately, this is not really the job that I ended up getting because it was a long time ago, internet bubble, everything just disappeared. And I ended up being a legal assistant and working with a lawyer. And it was a terrible work experience. I didn't like it at all. My boss was really mean. I was working by myself in my little office, being very sad. So I realized, oh my God, this is not really the job that I was expecting, and I felt very limited and not inspired in this job. And then I tried to find another job, and then of course the universe always works in mysterious ways. I actually lost my job, and I tried to find another job. So I was looking for a job, and I was doing photography as a hobby at that time because, of course, looking for a job, this is not something extremely inspiring all the time, quite depressing when you are a young person and you're trying to find a new job. So I needed a creative outlet. So I decided to start scrapbooking. I don't know if people still do that now.
There's a few out there, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, but I needed photos for my scrapbooking. So I bought a little camera and I was just going outside, taking photos of flowers and trees and the sky. And I really loved that. And then I started taking more photos, doing more of those. And then I started researching online. It was like the beginning of the internet about photography. And I ended up finding those wedding photographers in the United States. And I just loved their work. I just loved what they were doing. It was the beginning of lifestyle photography. So it was just started to be very popular. Beautiful photos, not very posed, very romantic. And I just loved that. So I started following those photographers. And it started like that. It started with just me finding this hobby. And then I was still trying to find a job. And a friend of mine actually told me, why don't you, do photography, start your photography business? And I kind of joke. I said, who's going to pay me money to take photos? And I still laugh now when I tell that story because she just said, you know what, you should just go for it. You should just go, give yourself a year to really try anything. So I started, photographing my friends, posting casting calls to have people pose for me, couples, families, everything. So, and I started a website and I started a blog because blogs were very big at that time. And I booked a few weddings right away from, friends. And yeah. And the next season, I had 15 weddings booked. And it was my first year of shooting weddings. So
I guess you kind of did a good job.
So, yeah. Yes.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, really, getting your picture can be very intimidating and kind of awkward. You have a very different approach. Could you explain to us your approach of getting your photos done?
So I know that it's very intimidating, very awkward to have your photo taken. And I think this is the first thing that most of my clients say to me when they get into the door. They say, I'm not photogenic and I'm very awkward on camera. And I tell them, I know, and this is not true. And I will prove you wrong because I know it's not natural. We are regular people. We are not professional models. You come to my studio for one shoot and you've never done a shoot before. Like, of course, this is not going to be natural. This is going to feel weird and very out of place. So I try my best to make them feel comfortable. And I actually talk a lot. I love talking. And also I love laughing and I love sharing stories. So for me, a photo shoot is very much a conversation. So it starts before the shoot, I send emails to get them ready for the shoot. Because a lot of the, what is happening in the studio is actually also lots of preparation. I want them to get their makeup done, have their outfits ready. So all of those things are really important because when they get to the studio, they know what's going to happen. So that's like all the communication before is very important. And then, yes, a photo shoot is a conversation for me. So I ask lots of questions. I share lots of stories. I explain my process a lot also. So every pose that I do, I explain to them why I ask them to do that, to pose a certain way. Because I think if you understand what you're doing and if you kind of like, I guide you through the process, it makes more sense. So then you start relaxing and start like just enjoying the moment, just being present and not really overthinking. I think when we start to overthink, that's when we get into our head and that's when we start kind of like hearing the little voice.
Yeah, sometimes it's not until the very end of the photo shoot is where you get some of your best pictures because they've come to that point where they're totally relaxed, they're enjoying themselves. And it's the same like when we do our interviews. Sometimes when we're interviewing someone, they're very tense in the beginning, but by the end of it, they're our new best friend and we're all just laughing and having a great time. So I totally understand that. It's about making someone feeling comfortable, and we're all, like you said, we're new to it. It's not something that we're accustomed to. And I love that you make sure that people are at ease when you're working with them.
It makes a big difference.
It does.
And like you said, we're not models and, we can get into our heads and overthinking things. So how do you think we encourage women to just reject these societal standards of beauty and embrace everything about ourselves, like themselves, like especially in this day and age where people are so divided and feeling like they can just leave these negative comments, hiding behind their screens. And I know you just went through an experience like that recently with one of your posts. So yeah, do you want to share?
Yeah, so I always encourage women to, and anyone actually that I know, to really embrace who they are. And I think people, especially women, we are scared of just being maybe weird or being a little bit quirky or like these little things that make us us. We try to actually hide that, but during a photo shoot, I observe a lot, and And I sometimes I find those little things about those people, like the way they smile, like the way they talk, they use their hands a lot. And I really try to capture this, because this is exactly what we want to see. Like, we want to see not just a copy paste of a pose on someone, because we will all look the same. What I want to see is your personality. I want to see like who you are, what makes you laugh. Even the way you dress. I think some people come to the shoot and they are actually a little bit scared of maybe coming with a gown that they have in their closet for 20 years and they're dreaming of wearing it. And I'm like, just wear it. Whatever makes you, the person that you are. I think I really push people to just to do that, to come to the photo shoot and be who they are. That's why I also on my Instagram, which is now a mix of my personal and my professional, I show them who I am. And I think this also allow people to trust me and see, oh, this is who she is. I can do that too. And it's okay for me to show up to my photo shoot with, I don't know, like a leather jacket that I'm a little bit afraid of wearing, or whatever they really want to show, and like really something that is dear to their heart. So I think the fact that I share a lot about my life, about who I am, really let people see that and think, oh, okay, it's okay. If she's doing this for herself, it's okay if I do that for me. So
yeah, regardless of what people might say because of it.
Absolutely, because you will always find someone who disagree with you. Let's be honest. Right.
Absolutely.
Go figure.
I mean, every day on Instagram, social media, we find people who love to argue or love to disagree. And I really want people to just kind of like shut those voices and like just do whatever you want to do. Like, no matter what society tells you, no matter what your parents told you that you should be. Like, I was supposed to be a lawyer. And here I am being a photographer, and my parents were not really happy in the beginning, but now they are. But no matter like what you really feel you want to do, just don't listen to those voices. Don't listen to people.
Listen to the heart.
Exactly.
Love that.
Every time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Could you share one of your favorite testimonials from a happy client, one that just makes your heart sing?
Oh my God. Okay, I noted this one because I'll try not to cry. I have to read it.
Oh, okay, we're ready.
Yeah, I'm already like my clock. Okay, so this one, I have to read it because the words that she chose are very specific. So she came, I think it was a few years ago. So I was really just started in my portrait photography in Edmonton. I was still new to what I was trying to do, like working with women in a specific way. And she came to a shoot, and this woman is gorgeous, was not sure about her makeup, so a little bit insecure about, herself. And she told me, first 5 minutes she got to the studio where we were shooting. She just separated from her husband, has 2 kids, kind of like just everything is going to change for her. So, and she was also starting like a new business. So after the shoot, she wrote me this. I approached the photo shoot without a real purpose for the images, but more as a marker for where I was at in my life at the time. It was transformative for me in the sense that I gave myself permission to be seen, if only by me.
Ooh.
Makes me want to cry every time I read it. And that is exactly the purpose of my work, is to to encourage women, invite women to do this for themselves, like not even for the husband, not even for the partner, not for the kids,
For her.
not even for whatever they think they have to do, but just maybe for themselves. And it was quite even shocking for me that, oh, she might never share those images on Instagram, on social media, and it doesn't matter because she did it for herself. And it was
That's huge.
Yes, it was huge. And it was one of those moments where I was just, like, that is exactly the point. That is exactly the goal of this.
It's all about her. That's and that moment for her. I love that.
Ooh, goosebumps.
No kidding.
Totally goosebumps. So you've lived all over the world. What brought you to Edmonton?
Yeah. Edmonton, hello.
I mean, I know we're great here.
Yeah, but like the places you've been. Holy catfish.
Yes.
Tell our viewers just some of the places you've been.
So I'm originally from Reunion Island, which is near Madagascar. Most people don't know where it is, so they have to Google it.
I've seen the movie. I've seen the Disney cartoon.
The talking animals, yeah.
But it's like the tiny island near Madagascar. So sometimes it's not even on the map because it's so small. So I'm from here. So I was born there. My parents were living there. I grew up there until I was 18 years old, and I moved to France, to Paris for university. So this is when I went to law school. And then I lived in France, Normandy. My parents moved to Normandy. And then after university, so when I was, after starting my photography business, actually, I met my ex-husband, who is Italian. I also traveled a lot to Italy. And he got a job in Montreal. So we moved to Montreal.
Wow.
We moved to Montreal, lived there for a few years, then moved to outside of Montreal. I don't know if you're familiar, to the Laurentians. So we lived there for a little bit, and then he got a job in Edmonton. And when he told me that, I said, Edmonton, I don't know.
Where?
I know Calgary because we know Calgary because of the Olympics.
Right.
But Edmonton, so it was in 2016, and so I was like, yeah, okay. It was supposed to be only for a few years. So we were moving here for his job, and then potentially moving back to Quebec. And then, of course, life happens. We move here. Our marriage was not doing well already. So I think moving to this new city, I felt like a switch. Also, I was shooting weddings before, and then I was starting to be a little bit tired of weddings. And when I moved to Edmonton, I thought that was the perfect time for me to go to portraits and focus on portraits. So I moved there with the goal of, I'm going to be a portrait photographer in Edmonton.
Good for you.
So I did lots of rebrand and trying to work around this when I moved to Edmonton. Moved to Edmonton, and a year later we separated, and a few years after he moved back to Quebec, and I'm still here. So
wow.
So that is the story of
well, Edmonton's gain for sure. That's
oh yeah.
I was thinking, like, all the places that you said that you have lived is like someone's bucket list of places that you've already experienced. So good for you.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Well, we're at an end, and I can't believe it. I could just keep asking some more questions here. Ladies, did you want to tie in with anything else before we leave? Are you good? Girls, good? Okay. Well, then we want our viewers to know how they can get a hold of you for to do some photography work alongside with you. So where can people get a hold of you? Are you on social media? Please share.
Yes, so I am on social media. Everything is pretty much under my name, Emilie Iggiotti. I know it's like very difficult to pronounce and write.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes.
But yes, my Instagram is Emilie Iggiotti. My website, emilieigiotti.com. My Facebook, Emilie Iggiotti photo, I'm pretty sure. And yes, I'm based in Edmonton. So I have a studio here where I photograph gorgeous women at all stages of their lives. So I welcome everyone to book a shoot with me if they want to feel seen and heard and just celebrate themselves. I think it's I want really women to celebrate their lives, who they are, and just be seen and feel beautiful. Yes.
I think your next project should be a book of powerful Edmonton women in all stages of life, because there are some amazing women here, and I bet you would just bang it out and make it look amazing.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for being a part of our show today. We wish you all the best in 2021, and thank you for staying in Edmonton and being a new asset to Edmonton. Yes. Keep up the great work, and thank you for being on Chit Chat. You have yourself a great one. Take care.
Thanks, Emily.